AI is evolving fast. Are you ready? Meet AI at Flightbase, your weekly hub to learn, upskill, and stay ahead in AI world. Let's dive into today's session.
Before I get started, quick introduction. I'm Vishali. I lead marketing efforts at Flightbase. Right now, marketing is going through a huge transition. We are all becoming engineers of some sort. And today I'm going to share how, as non-developers, we would primarily design screens and make things look pretty and write interesting copies. But then now things are changing quite swiftly. And today I want to show a little bit of what we've been, cooking at in the marketing team at Flightbase. So just a quick today's session, as you know, is focused on building newsletters. So how do you send newsletters today? If you can just give me a quick, or on the message chat window, if you can just quickly share how are you sending out newsletters today, what tool are you using? I'll just use that as reference material when I'm giving my demonstration. I'll just wait for like 2 seconds for you to reply and then we'll get started. And meanwhile, I'll just share my screen. Okay. All right, then I'll move on. Okay, Marketo is a brilliant platform, but very expensive as well. Anybody else want to share some other tools? Have you heard of like MailChimp, MailerLite, all these different kinds of marketing newsletter builders, which usually marketing teams use? Right, the template must be in some tool, right? Okay, so I'll just share with you how we have kind of approached this problem. So traditionally, how we would do in Flightbase is I'll just take a moment to talk about our old approach, so then we can understand how the new approach is very efficient and in terms of both time as well as efficiency. So older approach would be we had a newsletter builder, which is like a MailChimp or any of these tools. And then we would figure out, say, we'll take an example of a monthly newsletter. Everybody probably must already be sending a monthly recap of whatever you've shipped in the month of, say, March, month of April. It is something as a standard best practice that most SaaS companies or product companies do. And then you cover everything. You cover all the events you've done, a little recap of the blogs you've published, webinars you've hosted, or if you have any events you've gone to, any kind of product highlights or updates. So it's like a combination, a complete mix of all the different pieces that you've shipped and giving them a rundown of all that has happened in the last 1 month. So what we used to do initially is we used to first figure out, okay, what are the highlightable items that we need to pick. So a copy person would then draft the entire copy, figure out, okay, these are the sections. Then a creative person would go on to use those sections and build something that is visual. And then we used to use a drag and drop builder. We could add each and every element in terms of the header, the hero images, the images of the blogs, and it would be a long time taking process. It would be first designed in Figma, then used, say, in another tool, such as a marketing newsletter platform to be sent. So what we've done is we have right now thought of, what I'm showing you right now is a marketing intelligence platform that we are building. There are a lot of pieces that are coming together in here, but today I will focus on a newsletter. So this platform is going to be a hub for all the different activities that marketing team does. Right from analytics, we need to regularly check what are the analytics, how much traffic has come in. We also have a lot of content, knowledge bases that we need to work on. Contacts is important. Lead segmentation, how are they segmented? Brand is again an important aspect for us. Events, following a calendar. We are also working on tasks, link shorteners, social scheduler. So all the different fragmented tools as a marketer that you use, we are trying to bring them with the relevant context onto one platform. So we build this in Lovable. And for the newsletter, what we've done is, if you see, we've kept it very simple. So we have different types of newsletters, say one which is very industry focused for our application, one which is just talking about a product release, one which is like a webinar invite, one which is a monthly calendar, which we usually send. So I want to just show you a monthly calendar. So where the key is that when you can select a time range, for example, 30 days, 60 days. You can even select a language. For us, we have different languages because we operate across the globe. So there are people who are not comfortable with English, and more often than not, you will probably be sending your newsletters in English, and it's not possible to redo them in multiple languages and then send them. But here with that tool, we get that benefit because that's what is a problem for us. And then if you see it, if I say select Spanish for now, and I create assemble content, so it will automatically sync in the live data that is available. So for example, I wanted to first talk about a deployment story or a case study, because that is one of the key things that you want in your newsletter to go. So it starts with that. Then it picks up, say, 3 or 4 different blogs. I have complete customization. Now, how am I pulling this content? Your content is already live on your website. If you're doing blog publishes every month, if you're doing product releases, it is probably live in your Gitbook where you're managing all your releases, where you're sharing it. For us, our website is on Webflow today, which we are changing soon to a complete no-code platform. But then it is already there live. All the events that you're going to, all the webinars that you've probably hosted, they are all going to be live on your website, because that's where your customers will find it, and that's how you will promote it. So why do you want to build it again from scratch? And why can't we sync the entire thing? So if you can see in my content tab, I have everything that is synced, all the events, and what is the category for it? Like, is it for a particular vertical? Is it an awareness stage? It is in the decision stage, so that I can, reuse this content in different slices. And then if it's a case study, if it's a blog, if it's a release note, everything is fetched in auto mode. And every time I want to refresh, I can just click on the sync Webflow button. It will automatically sync all the live sources of information. So I don't have to now manually pick through different sources and then put it together. And my newsletter is going to be built from these sources. So going back to it, say, for example, I want to again pick up something. I want to take, say, last 90 days, I select, and then I quickly assemble content. So it now has picked up all the different things. We don't have an upcoming webinar, so it has not been able to pick it. So I can quickly remove it from my builder. I can change the location. We have a lot of experience days coming up in Europe, so it has picked up all the different events that we are participating in, some of the past webinars with watch on demand and watch recording, product highlights. So this is so much simpler, because now you're not really going ahead thinking about, okay, what are the blocks that I need to put in a monthly calendar? It has done it. And this is rarely an interface that you will get to see in a regular newsletter medium. You can change you can drag and drop. You can even change the sections. You don't want to put, say, blogs on top. You want to talk about product highlights before that. You are going to, say, events. You want to again share that, which is more important. So you can put that section on top. If you have a playbook, you can add a playbook. Now, a lot of times when auto fetching data, it may or may not fetch the images correctly, and you want to upload a static image. So you can also do that. You can upload any image if you want to share that. Anything. Sometimes when auto fetching data, if your hero image is not set, sometimes it just picks up some random image. Like for here, if you can see, it's picked up a logo. There are certain issues, but it is still so much simpler than manually putting all of this together. And now if I want to just go and generate newsletter, it will generate in Spanish in the template that I've built in a complete HTML version. Now, popular marketing platforms like MailChimp, they allow import of HTMLs, but then there's a lot of processes that you need to follow to figure it out and get it done. So what it is doing is it is quickly picking up all the generating the summaries, writing the content of whatever content pieces that I selected, and now it has built it for me. So if we call it say the March rundown, or this is, say, for example, we're talking about just the last month or a couple of months rundown. So it has picked up, okay, which vertical it is, and now it's in Spanish as well. So if I have my lead list with their preferred language as a tag in it, I can just send it to the list of Spanish speaking countries and geographies. And now if you can see, it has picked up it. I have a complete template based on my brand. So it is on brand. It has picked up everything, the logo, the headers, like I said, we call it flight based dispatch, the different images also it's picked up. If you have a GIF, and these are all residing in live data sources. So for example, all my product highlights are in some page called releases.flightbase.com. So this is where we maintain, let me just share with you just to give you an idea. So this is where we maintain all the latest releases. So based on the dates of the release, it picks up this image. And if it's a GIF, it will even pick up a GIF. For example, let me show you this. So we recently launched Flintstone. So it picks up a GIF as well, or I do not add these images manually. Everything is synced with APIs through the platform. So that has made it so much simpler, because I know as a marketer how much time it would take for us to put it all together. And now it has picked everything. It has even, like, for example, we're going for these events. So it has shared, the different events, the dates, and then you can just take them to check out all events. So when you click on this, because it's in the builder mode. Okay, so share this. So it will redirect them to the events page on the website, which has all the upcoming events that Flightbase is participating in across different geographies. And I can go back. And then if you can see blogs, so it has a pattern also. If it's 3 blogs, I have a particular template. If it's Flow 4, I have a particular template. These are the webinars that you can watch on demand. Again, they'll take them to the webinars when it was aired. The playbook, if there's an image, it will come up with an image. So I've made all those guardrails adjustments while building the template. And this template is going to be changing based on the content that you select. So every time you can have a different content, because it is completely codified now. You don't have to stick to a standard template of 3 blogs or 2 blogs or 2 events, because that's when it becomes very difficult. And now I have this entire HTML file, which I can download. I can also send it through any builder or newsletter builder which supports HTML import. And it will use the same. Or I have a scheduler here myself. So what I do is I can just quickly, I have built the complete scheduler in this app itself. So I usually use info@flightbase to send all the emails. I can even change the name. I can give the subject line. I can generate it with AI as well. And then I can send a test email. I can either send it to all my active contacts, or I can even add segments. So for example, I have security as a vertical, and I only want to send these to security people. So people who are working in security. So I can just include all these segments. I can also do an upload CSV, anything, like all of these options are possible. And then I can even, say, for example, I select all contacts, and then I can even schedule it. So I can pick a date and time, which you usually do with any kind of newsletter platform. And then if you click on send, we have integrated with Resend in the backend, which is way much cheaper than any of these marketing tools that you get on the market, by the way, because MailChimp for a typical 10,000 contact would charge you easily up to $100 plus. Marketo and all will cost way much more, if I'm not wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But then these recent integration, they work more as transactional email. So they will then use, and because you are not using their builder, their drag and drop builder, it's much more simpler. You can just use a HTML format and then send it across. So this, after I've sent it, I also get to see the analytics. So all the sent emails here, it's on the list. I can go through the analytics. It will pick up, sorry, it's scanning, but then it tells me, okay, how many people have been has it been sent to, how many people have opened it, how many people have clicked on it, how many people have unsubscribed. I maintain a separate list of unsubscribes, so everything gets say for example here all my unsubscribes are also there, right? So it's all built, like the contacts are linked with it, the segments are there, and all my active list of people who are using Flightbase, and my newsletter list is there. And I can do all these different integrations through different webinar platforms that will automatically update and sync my contact list as well. So this is what we've been building, and would love to hear your thoughts. Like, is there some questions that you have? I'll take a pause. I'll address some of the questions, and then maybe I can move on to sharing something. Okay, so I've got one question. Thanks, Ananya, for breaking the ice. So yes, the quality and accuracy, see, it starts from having it. So you don't start building it right from the Lovable project, right? Before you do that, you have probably a project which you follow in Claude or ChatGPT, wherever you're using. And then what we are doing is that we when I build the initial, when I'm thinking about template, okay, these are the sections, this is the deployment stories, these are the summaries that you should generate. I then try to use the platform and give certain prompts. Okay, these are the number of words of summaries that you need to generate. Now if you see, sometimes Claude will end up putting 100-word summary. Now those are things that I will do first, pressure testing in a Claude project, and then I will just add the set of instructions where to Lovable or wherever I'm building it. Another thing I've noticed is in Lovable, by default will use Gemini. Lovable's AI is kind of by default is Gemini. If you just tell it that, no, you use Sonnet or Claude's Opus, whichever you're more comfortable with, then it will use, and of course the quality of summaries are much better than what like a standard Gemini gives. So those kind of discussions you need to have with your AI beforehand, before you start creating. Once you have that, now here is where you add in your brand system, your brand skill to Lovable. Say that, okay, my newsletter needs to be designed in these color patterns, and this is the font that you need to use. This is the kind of summaries. These are the word limitations of the summaries. This is how you should tag. All of that you do before, and then you just feed it into Lovable to build it. Next question from Vivan is, how is there a Shrey, is there a feedback loop with the campaign performance? No, we don't have it yet, but that's a direction that I'm definitely working on, because we just shipped this a while ago. And of course, the initial goal was to stop the boring work and the time that we spend on, putting together these newsletters. We often send it, and we send it for different things. Like we have webinars very frequently. So every time we need to give a webinar update, we kind of put it together in a builder and then add the text. It's very painful. And like nobody enjoys use Figma and do all of that. So same thing with monthly newsletters. We want to send newsletters to different enterprises of different verticals. Now, all of this was not scalable. And now if you do it, put it all together by yourself in a design file and a builder, now that this has made it much simpler. The next step is to figure out a process in how we can get in the campaign's performance, and then improve the generation and tagging, and also pick up the right subject lines, pick up the right say what are the links also being clicked, is case study being clicked more, is webinars being clicked more, get those insights. And I think those insights will come in once we do a few newsletters, and then we can draw some analysis out of it, and then optimize the system. But in terms of tweaking, again, see, this is the best part. When you're using Lovable, you can like just ask it that I want an editor. So I have also done the same. I was also facing the issue that while even after giving so much guardrails, that some places it may not work as expected. And you want to be able to change, say, a line here and there. So what you want, I've done it. It's not very pretty looking. I'm not focused so much on the UI. But for example, I can just go ahead and I click on edit, and then I can just make changes here. The I'm not able to do anything here because I've generated in Spanish, but in English you can understand. Like, you can just go edit, say you don't want this line, and then you can just go ahead and update the preview, so it will update the preview. So I've built that editor as well, even after it's assembling the entire content together.
We do one last question as well from
Okay.
Sneha. Can it integrate with the tools we already use, like CRM or analytics platform?
Yes, definitely. So what I've done is my contacts are synced with HubSpot. So all the tools that you use, I'm trying to all bring it together in this one platform. And in terms of other analytics, you're talking about CRM, of course, analytics platform. So for example, I want to see my analytics in a particular way. What is the traffic? I have a lot of geography based distribution. So I want to see it in basis of geographies as well. So I can make these different regions. So for me, it's very important to understand how many people have come in from, say, North Americas, or NASA is what we internally call it, North America, South Americas. So what are the top performing countries? Which are the different regions people are coming in from? And all of this is done with Google's integration. So this platform then serves my one. I don't now have to open a marketing platform for newsletter sending, a platform for, say, Google Analytics to see all of it, HubSpot to go through my contact. Everything is automatically added here. In terms of, say, even we used to use sorry, I don't know what happened. Even we used to use a shortcut, for example, link shortener. You probably use dub.co. So we already have something called flight.link. So this is also something that I've newly built, where I can create these shorteners here itself. So this is my whole platform for everything marketing that we usually do, and making it simpler and scalable so I don't have to onboard also new members onto different platforms. They can all come here, everything synced, and they can use it. So that's the idea behind having this one common intelligence platform, especially catered to what we use. Okay. Does it support? See, this is the thing. Right now, I have not included the support, the AB aspect, but of course, I can build it. You can it's only a prompt away. So this is something that we build based on what we require. So for example, if I want to show you a quick one in the newsletter, when I was, say, sending a newsletter, say this one, I want to send it. So here, when I generate with AI, I usually ask it to generate two options. Now, this is not so well trained, but like, it can give a subject line if you want to do A/B testing, if you want to change it also. So right now my sending is not optimized that way, because I'm building this completely from scratch. I'm not using a tool, but you can just prompt it and say, I want an A/B testing option where you send 50%, 40%, or like, those are like addition things that I will do once I have some success on this platform, and like, I'm starting to use it more frequently. Have anybody tried this approach of building something which a tool that you've just been using in the marketing tech stack, and something we've also building like a complete outbound platform as well, where we figure out all the signals? So it's been interesting. We've all gone into a very builder mode, and we realize that this is much better, because otherwise with the different tools, you're not able to sync content in one place. Anybody else have any kind of feedback on this? Certain things that maybe I should try? I've already got some, feature ideas that I should build. But beyond that, like, is this helpful? Is this something that you've been, also trying out? And any learnings that I can take back or like share with others as well would really help.